Hi, I'm Adrian Smays, and I'm with the EMC Commercial Microsoft Solutions team. I'm here to talk to you about EMC solutions for Microsoft Exchange. Today we're going to talk about what is Microsoft Exchange, backup and recovery, disaster recovery, email archival, platforms to use with Exchange, your resources available to you, and Exchange 2007. Come on, let's go to the whiteboard and have a look.
The EMC Video On Demand Library.
So Microsoft Exchange, what is it? Well, it's an email server, but it's really much more than that. You're probably using Exchange and using Outlook, and think about how do you use Outlook and your emails? Well, it's a document repository. A lot of people use it to store files and keep it there for a long time for reference. Document management and version control, because a lot of people use it to make modifications and send it back and forth to each other as they've made their changes. It's certainly calendar sharing and being able to share calendars and set up appointments with one another. It has a lot of support for mobile devices. And really it's the primary mode of communication for all companies these days. Almost everybody would classify email as their main means of communication and very critical to their business. So Exchange, its current version is Exchange 2007. It's just being released at the end of 2006 and will be widely available in 2007. This is going to replace Microsoft Exchange 2003. And Exchange is really the dominant email platform in the marketplace. Exchange has, while it is the most popular application that Microsoft has, it also has a lot of support calls as a result of this. And why is that? Well, Exchange can be finicky. It has a lot of dependencies to it. And it's based on a lot of other Microsoft applications. So if you think about it, you use Office and Word and some of the other products that integrate with Exchange. But you also would use Active Directory that it ties in with and Windows. And it ties in with a lot of other key applications such as SharePoint or Live Communication Server. And it's dependent on the Internet. So all of these things really lead to Exchange being a finicky application, which is critical to understand when customers are saying it's the primary mode of communication. So if you look at it, what are some common challenges that customers have around Microsoft Exchange? Well, I'd have to say these two first issues, document repository and document management, are two leading causes of Exchange's largest challenge, in which large data stores is Exchange's probably biggest problem they have. A lot of people are just finding that data is being stored for a long period of time. The databases are growing, and as a result of this is a management nightmare for administrators. Backups and restores take a long time. Disaster recovery can be challenging, and just trying to get their hands wrapped around this data growth and the storage required for it can be a real challenge. Additionally, that results in more servers to be able to hold all this data if a customer is not using the SAN solution. And a lot of customers really want to implement a high availability Exchange solution because it is being recognized as a primary mode of communication. People are telling the administrators, I need to have Exchange up all the time, or as little downtime as possible. So let's look at what are some opportunities that EMC has. Well, first of all, as we mentioned, with Exchange 2007 coming out, this is going to result in new migrations, so service opportunities for customers who need help with their migration, and that's a great fit for the EMC Microsoft practice. As well as a lot of customers who implement a new Exchange version use that as an opportunity for new infrastructure. Customers will be buying new hardware to support it, and they'll be looking at that time to either upgrade their existing SAN infrastructure or to implement a new SAN infrastructure to be able to get some of the benefits that a SAN can bring them. Additionally, a lot of customers who are running on direct attached storage today would be looking at iSCSI. iSCSI is a great play with Exchange. It works really well in almost all Exchange environments, and it's similar to direct attached storage in the sense it's easy to manage. It's a concept that a lot of people can understand and implement easily when they're installing new hardware. Another key opportunity is growth and compliance. As I mentioned, Exchange is seeing a huge growth in data stores. So customers are coming to EMC and saying, how can you help me reduce the size of the data on disk? And so we have ways in which we can come in and help reduce the size of their data store, yet still make those emails available to the users so that the customer can implement essentially limitless data stores. Additionally, there's a lot of new regulation that requires companies keep their emails around for a long period of time or to be able to quickly discover them in a lawsuit. So compliance is a real driving force for opportunities around Exchange. Another one is ambulance chasing. And what do we mean by that? Well, as I mentioned, Exchange can be finicky. It has a lot of potential problems, performance problems. It has all these dependencies, as we mentioned. And so when a problem occurs in the email system, it's hard to identify where this is coming from. So a lot of customers really get frustrated trying to figure out where the problem is. Well, EMC can come in and do some diagnostics. We can collect some data, and we can really help determine where problems lie and help be able to improve performance and make Exchange run better for the customer. And lastly, I would say backup, disaster recovery, and high availability. Customers want to have Exchange available all of the time, or at least as close to it as possible. They want to reduce the time it takes to back up and restore their Exchange environment, and they want to have Exchange be able to recover quickly in the event of a disaster. We're going to be covering these in more depth in future modules, but in the meantime, things that you could be listening for that are going to help you in your Exchange campaigns are going to be Exchange 2007 migrations, possibly migrating from another mail platform such as Lotus Notes or GroupWise to Exchange. Things like acquisitions and mergers that are going to help service opportunities to incorporate these new users into an existing environment. Recent outages. A lot of times that customers who have an Exchange outage can be out for a long time, and this is a pain point in which they look for help to implement a new solution. Lengthy backups, and any compliance or regulations that are coming out that could require them to keep emails online for a long period of time.
The EMC Video On Demand Library. Sharpen your competitive edge in minutes.